So I'm here with our January spotlights, Brian Clayton and Brian Newman. They've both been working for John Deere for 30 years. And so I'd like to start by, how'd y'all get started as John Deere mechanics?
I started when Robert McNabb hired me over in the setup shop, and I started over there setting equipment up, and then moved over here several years later working on lawnmowers and then tractors.
My grandfather works for the John Deere place in Covington, and my uncle was the shop foreman for the Millington store, and so then at the time I was just out of high school, pulling transmission and stuff at a transmission shop, cutting pizzas at night, and he come over and asked me if I wanted a new job. I said sure. So went over there and talked to them, and got hired at Millington, and they worked at Millington for 5 years, and moved over here and working here ever since, so.
And then what are some of the biggest changes y'all have seen from when you started till now, just with the industry, how you do your job and everything?
Just a lot with the equipment. Back then there wasn't a lot of electrical or anything. It was just mostly mechanical stuff, hydro, gear drive, everything. But the further it gets along, the more and more advanced everything gets. It's pretty neat watching it move as it does. Everything compatible with each other just is unreal.
Oh yeah, when I started running calls, I don't even think I had a telephone. All we had was a CB, just a Motorola radio, and you had something that that needed to go back to, get information from Deere. You had to contact the shop foreman. They had to contact DTAC, and DTAC would call you. It's totally different now. Everything now is computerized, and you got it's a lot easier now. It seems to be. It used to be. You had to work back then to fix stuff. You had to get the manual out and really go to work to get it. I don't know. Just it's all different,
Oh yeah, it's way different.
Yeah.
Do y'all have any stories you'd like to share from over your years? Anything funny to do with a coworker or a customer, or anything interesting at all?
I've had some crazy ones in there.
Yeah.
Seen a lot of people come and a lot of people go.
Sure have. Yeah.
I ain't no telling how many faces we've seen come through this building.
Yeah, somebody told me that a long time ago. So he'd seen a lot of people come through. And I was new, and I was like, all right, I wouldn't believe it, but I believe it now. It's been a lot of people come through here. Yeah.
So what advice would you give to someone that is fresh out of high school, wanting to become a tech? What advice would you give them?
Listening. Don't think you know everything. Because the guys that have been around a long time can teach you lots of things. And that's if they will teach you. Some hold back and won't let you see everything they do. But I ain't that way. If you're there to make my job easier, and I'll help you. Later on, you may turn around and help me. That's the way I see it. I think they would enjoy it, but they got to know that's really what they want. I mean, we got one kid that's been trying to work here. He's like 15. It's like his dream. He just wants to be here bad. And Joey's thinking about getting him to come in just to learn, clean up, and pick up on things. I don't know how that's turned out yet, but I think he'd probably be a good kid. He's got a lot of good intention. It's just what he sees he wants to do. But a lot of people see they want to do it and get in it and realize, this ain't for me. You're out in the field and it's 100 degrees outside, and you're up in the back of a combine pulling a transmission or something. Yeah, it can get rough sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not all fun and games.
You got to make sure it's what you want to do. You know, you need to have some background, I think, mechanically, because they can teach you. You can go to John Deere school and learn how to run the computer and all that other, but if you're not mechanically, if you don't have the mechanical ability to do it, you're not going to stick with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's got to be something you like to do.
And that's
I always loved fixing things from the time I was small enough to fix something, or big enough to fix something. So
I was the same way. I love taking stuff apart and putting it back together, and
yeah.
I was that way from young to still that way today. I'm a little better at taking it apart and moving on and taking something else apart instead of putting it all together.
Would y'all prefer to be in the shop, or you like being out in the field?
The field's nice. It makes the day go by faster, especially if things you can move along, get through and go to another one. But sometimes the field is rough too.
I enjoy the field better. I mean, a 30-degree day in the field is better than a day in the shop.
Yeah.
I don't care. I'd rather be out in the field. It's tough. It's hard to work. I mean, it's a lot more demanding. You always got a customer right there over you. Need to get his equipment running and all that, and logistically trying to find parts and get them running. You know, it's a lot more demanding, but it's more rewarding too. You know, to be able to get it running when they need it. You know, and it's just better. I'd rather be in the field.
Yeah.
I worked in the shop for 10 years, then I went out in the field, and it was. Well, I say that. I was off and on, in and out of the shop. I really went straight just field work pretty much. Probably 20 years ago, that's all I do. It's field work pretty much. You know, it's been I wouldn't want to work back in the shop anymore.
So you got to be tough to do the field work, it sounds like.
I think so.
Yeah. I mean, especially if you're out there by yourself, it can get rough.
Yep.
I've known days I've been out there and I was like, how in the world, man? Just taking big, huge tires off, no crane, no nothing, just fighting hubs, axles, and trying to get all that stuff back on by yourself. Can't even touch your tools, they're so hot. It gets rough.
I wouldn't do anything else, I don't believe. If I wasn't working for John Deere, Tennessee Tractor, I'd be doing it somewhere else. You know?
Yeah, that's pretty much me. I mean, I've done it so long, that's what I know. I can be off 3 or 4 days and I can tell, I'm like, man, I'm ready to get back to my normal, coming to work every day. It keeps me going, but there are days I need a little vacation. But before my vacation's over, I'm always, man, I'm ready to get back to work.
Well,
It's hard to believe people are that way, but it's that way. It just becomes habit. Anytime we go on vacation, I'm always fixing stuff around people's places that we're renting, and my wife's like, oh my gosh, why can't you just vacation? Damn.
Well, one thing we ask all the spotlights is if you could go, I guess it sounds like you don't like vacations very much, but if you could go on any vacation in the world, what would be your dream vacation?
Oh, I don't know that I really have a dream vacation.
Or if you don't, do you have anything on your bucket list? Anything that you've always wanted to do that you've never done?
I'm not jumping out of any planes or anything like that, for sure.
As far as vacation, I had never been to Hawaii. I'd like to try that. I think that'd be a nice vacation. Hawaii or Cancun or somewhere like that would be good.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Well, y'all got anything to say to your customers or your co-workers or anybody else watching this video?
No, when you come around here, once you're here for a little bit, everybody's kind of like family. 'Cause we'll see each other more than we'll see our own family, so.
Yeah,
Time does go by quick. I mean, my kids, I did stuff with them, but I didn't get to do stuff like I should have. My wife was always there for them, but you know, when you're out and working late and doing stuff, you ain't got the time to go. But that's my own fault too, because I could have said, look, I need to go do this, but I needed the money too, so I was gonna work.
Yeah, I think we got a bunch of good co-workers. Everybody's, you know, friendly, and that was one thing I noticed when we made the switch from Dandridge to Tennessee Tractor, how friendly Tennessee Tractor people are. You know, it was really good, you know, good switch, and there's a lot of good people working for Tennessee Tractor, and I like working here. But, you know, it's a lot of, all my co-workers are good people.
Yeah.
You know, nice and friendly, and work hard. So, yeah, that's all I can say about them. You know, but they're a good crew. You know.
Yeah, well, we got 60 years combined with Brian and Brian here. We appreciate y'all and all your hard work and everything you've done over the years and continue to do every day.